Okay, time to go through the electrical overview, and I apologize in advance for how cluttered my garage is. Okay, so let's dive in. I'm gonna go over some of the unique factors of hooking up the electrical system that I personally um, had challenges or struggles with, which was quite a lot. And I will try and hit just every electrical connection in this car. That way you have a good overview of what to look at, and might as well just start with the front and we'll work our way back. First things first, something as simple as the headlight connection I thought was going to be very simple. However, I learned that it was not simple because I had a wire that was disconnected in the dash, and it was causing me to not, it was causing the headlight lamps to not work. However, it is all working now, and let me just show you. You have two connections. You got your headlight lamp and you get your turn signal. And so for the headlight, and once again, I just have these roughed in right now, but if you look at the main, oh, that's not the main. This is the headlight, the headlamp, the main one. The white goes to this kind of brass, bronze looking one right here. So kind of the weird color. The red goes to the red, and the black goes to the black. So black to black, red to red, and then white to the remaining weird color. And I believe that is the high beam. Red is the low beam. So that's what that one is. Okay, turn signal, kind of same deal, black to black. You have blue on the passenger side. You're gonna have your blue to your green. On the driver's side, you're gonna have green to green. And then the remaining kind of yellow / red wire is going to go to your parking wire, which is like your tan one. Okay, so simple, straightforward, no problems. You can kind of see how I have my harness routed just temporarily. I got zip ties everywhere. Still just working through this. Okay, the horn module, you can see how I got my horn. You can see how I got my horn mounted right now. So pretty straightforward, pretty easy. You can see, you know, you slice them or you splice them so that your ground is going to both and your power wire is going to both. So pretty straightforward. You can just see it's popping right out of the harness there. And I'm noticing I have a little bit of a scratch there. I might want to cover that up, but nothing crazy. The other thing I might do is I will probably bundle these together so that if the radiator gets too hot, it's not going to rub against that. So I'll probably package those together closer. So that's the horn, another easy one. We're talking about all the easy stuff here first. Okay, next, you could see our, and you can see kind of the wires right there is the sensors. And you can see I ran them right under here. And that is for the temperature sensor. And the other one is the oil pressure sensor. Okay, so both of those, you can see that wire is running straight up there, and pretty much that's what I got. That's what I got going. And those hook in directly to the gauge units. Okay, so I'm not cutting them or splicing them into the harness wires. I'm just running them straight to the dash, which works. I don't know if there's a better way to do it. Probably is, but that's what I'm doing. Okay, next we got the coil, the igniter coil. And you can see I have a Holly Sniper EFI system. It's the one that I got through Blueprint Engines, and my engine in general, as a reminder, is a Ford 306. And so you could see here, I have my electrical hookup. Pretty much all of this was standard. And then your kind of, your power wire here that is what's going to ignite the coil. There's multiple different ways of connecting it, but you can see from the harness itself, I have purple, which is going to here, and I think that purple is the, oops, you can't see that. Purple here, which is going to tack. I have this yellow wire, forget what this yellow wire does, it comes right here, and then this orange wire comes right off on the negative side of the coil. These two are already ran, and I believe these go to the distributor, so you don't have to do anything with that. So that was easy peasy. This gave me a little bit of trouble trying to figure out which one to hook up. I kept frying my ECU. Pain in the rear, but we got that thing rolling, okay? So, easy. Still easy. Okay, if we come over to this side, this is where it started to get a little bit more complicated for me. And, oh, and one other thing is you could see how I kind of wrapped up all my harness stuff right here. So just still kind of playing with like the best way to line it out there. But okay, here's some ideas. I actually took some of these ideas from the Factory 5 forums that I'm on, and I thought this was the cleanest way to do the EFI harness. The EFI harness is kind of big. There's a lot of wires going everywhere. It's kind of clunky. So at first I tried putting it in here in a couple different ways, and it just, I don't really think it looked great. So, so I ended up just throwing the wires here, and I think this is a nice, really clean setup. So you got your main fuse block here. You got your relay for the your pump, for your fuel pump. So that's nice. So those, they both look really good. And then I'm kind of running it just on the back along here, going straight into these 3 holes I cut out. The far right one, I have a lot of EFI wires running through. So that's kind of the 3 holes I set, pretty straightforward. This I'm not going to leave like this. This is just temporarily, but I will fasten this down somewhere, potentially on this foot box. And same thing with this. I had a lot of problems with the power wire for whatever reason. Because you got to run this power wire all the way back to the battery is what Holly recommends. And so the first power wire stuff I ran, I actually, there was a short somewhere in it and I had to rerun it. So this time I kind of kept it out just to make sure everything was good. And it's working nicely. So I'll kind of clean up some of this stuff, but I will tuck it all away here in the foot box area, and I think that's gonna make it look really good. Okay, next one is this. You're supposed to de-pin all of the rest of the wires. But this one is super cool. This one just pretty much goes to the fan. So that is what's going to turn on the fan, turn on and off the fan. So you could program that nicely. And really that's all that wire harness does. So then we had this pink sniper wire, and this pink sniper wire is supposed to hook up to this guy right here, which is your electric units, your sending units electric choke. So I do have those two hooked up right there nicely. And then you have your green thermo fan on the harness that is connected to this blue wire. So that's all this blue wire is doing, is connecting to the green fan, and it's just all on this harness right here. So that's the EFI system, and that's pretty much everything there. It looks a lot more complicated than what it was. That took a little bit of time just because there's a lot of trial and error there. But for my setup, that's all I had to do, and got it working like a champ. So next, we're gonna move to the most complicated part, is the dash. But before I get to the dash, I did just want to show you real quick. There was one incision or one cut you have to make for the fuel pump, and it's this wire. For me and my setup, for my version, is this wire that was jumpered right here, and I actually cut that, and the instructions say to cut that and replace that. And this is the fuel pump relay here. and to replace that wire with the fuel pump wire from the sniper unit. So that's what I did. So that's kind of the one little surgical work I did on the board here. So that's really it. Nothing crazy. And you can just see that fuel pump wire just runs straight in through there, back out through there into the module. So that's good. That's solid. But you can see this is kind of a rat's nest right now. I'm gonna clean a lot of this stuff up. I'm actually going to take a lot of these wires and I'm going to fasten them to the dash here. And then I'm gonna take the other wires that make sense, like fuel pump and some of these other ones, and I'm going to fasten them to the firewall. So that'll be good. So you can just see I have multiple different connections here, and I think what'll be better than trying to video this is I'll just show you the schematics of what I did and how to hook up a lot of this stuff. This is more just to show you how ridiculously messy it is, but I'll show you the schematics. That'll be a lot easier to see this dash. There's just no way I'm gonna be able to get the camera in here. But what will be useful from a camera perspective is to just show you this module here that I got hooked up. And once again, I'll show you the schematics of how to splice all of this stuff. But this is for your rear lights. So you gotta hook this up and splice this into the harness so that your rear lights can both be a turn signal and a stop light and a brake light. So that's important. That took a little bit of time to figure out how the heck to make that happen, but we got that working and we are in a good place now. So that's rolling. A couple other things. These are kind of getting easier, but you know, I was trying to figure out the best way to hook up this LED. Instructions weren't super clear, but also it's not that complicated. So found a nice easy way for me to hook this up was simply looking at the dash lights, goes to the positive side, and the ground goes to the negative side. So that worked out really nicely. That was easy to do. And I'm not actually gonna put any of this stuff in place until I get a lot more work done around the car so I can know very specifically where I'm going to attach that to. So I don't wanna do more work than what I need to and then have to do some rework on that. So that's fine, that's easy. You can also see I'm running my sniper handheld up here. I don't quite know yet where I'm going to put my sniper handheld. I've seen some people mount it in the dash here. I don't really think that looks great. I've seen some people mount it underneath the dash here. I think that kind of looks wonky as well. So right now my best thought is right underneath here somewhere, I am going to kind of fasten the case to it. And then if I wanted to pop it out, because the case is nice, it has a little sliding case, I'm gonna slide it out and then have enough length where I can kind of look at everything and see what it looks like and go from there. So that's kind of the current thought process, and I think that will be very helpful. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, next, you can just see I'm running them along. You can see that the main power wires for the car is just kind of run along the side here. So that's great. Okay, what else? Okay, this clock, the clock, something as simple as the clock, didn't have great instructions, but I kind of figured out where to do it. So you got red, that goes to that speed clock memory. Okay, if you guys could see that speed clock memory. That goes to the red side of the clock. Then you got the black, which goes to the ground. And then this white one, I'm just simply hooking up to the to the dash gauge light, and that one makes it work very nicely. Okay, so that is the dash. Okay, and here is the after for the dash. So this is the after. This is mostly cleaned up. These clips right here were amazing. You can see I got a pack of them right here. Bought them on Amazon. Those things worked out really, really nicely. And I used them all along kind of the back here as well. So there's different layers that I kind of used to clean them up. The hardest thing was the main wiring harness, just where to run a lot of this stuff. But like I said, these clips really made it nice and clean, and I got a nice kind of process of them coming in and out, and just kind of figuring out the best way to do that. So still got a few more things I want to clean up and make it look more pretty. Last step I'm gonna do when before I close all this stuff up is I am gonna be labeling not every wire, but most of the wires. I am gonna just kind of put a nice label on there. That way I know kind of why I connected some of these, because some of the labeling on the wire casing got cut. So that's gonna be the last thing I do while it's all still fresh in my brain. And then just kind of final stuff back here. Once you get that trailer module installed, it makes it really easy to just hook up everything there. Like I said, you just splice it into the dash. Then you simply got black that goes to the left tail light, or the left tail. Then you got the white, which goes to your ground. And then you got the red, which goes to your left rear turn signal. And when you use that module, you're not actually using the brake wire anymore. So that brake wire is just kind of cap that off on both sides. You do not need that anymore, because that trailer module kind of takes care of that for you. One other thing I just put in place was the weatherproof shutoff for the battery. And this is handy for multiple reasons. I noticed that I think it's the sniper unit, but definitely without the shutoff, my battery is drawing very low amperage, but if I don't have a shutoff, it will die. There's no doubt about it. So it has multiple purposes. It's great because it's kind of a nice little safety feature, but it's also really saving my battery life, which is solid, which is good. So you can see right here, I got it hooked up. That's the one that I bought from Factory 5. It works just great, tested it out. And then you can see here's the mounting location, and just really easy. You can turn it on, turn it off. Take the key, like I said, as a safety thing, and just makes it harder, since these cars are open top, for somebody to try and steal it. But really simple, just centered it on there. I think that looks really nice, except for all the crazy stuff I got there, but I think it looks really nice in that location. And then, like I said, it's really convenient to tie that straight into the battery, and also is easy, so I don't have to keep taking on these wires on and off as I'm testing different components. So just wanted to show you that, since I got this after I recorded the electrical video.